From Shibe Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this is Kurt Berglund with another game in the Payoff Pitch Dream Season. We're up to Game 5 in an 18-game mini-season plus playoffs between 26 of my favorite teams in Payoff Pitch Cards and Dice Baseball Simulation. The two teams that we feature tonight are both from the 1964 National League and are both near the bottom of the National League standings at the moment. However, coming into tonight, there are 14 games left in the season, and there's still plenty of time to make a run for one or both of these teams starting tonight. Yesterday, the Phillies beat the Giants in the first game of this series, Art Mahaffey outdueling Gaylord Perry. Tonight, we're here because of the pitching matchup between two titans of the 1960s. For the visiting San Francisco Giants, it's Juan Marichal, 21-8 with a 2.48 earned run average in 33 starts, 22 complete games on the season in 269 innings pitched. For the Phillies, ignore the spelling, it's Jim Bunning. Jim Bunning was 19-8, the ace of the staff in 1964 with a 2.63 earned run average in 39 starts with 13 complete games, and why not a couple of saves thrown in for good measure. 284 innings pitched for the future United States Senator. Marichal, Bunning. Big game tonight for both teams. The Giants come into this game 0-4, having been swept in the first series by the 2018 Milwaukee Brewers at home. And the Phillies dropped 3 in rather, what would you say, ugly fashion to the 1969 Detroit Tigers. However, as I said, there is time for both teams to make a move, and tonight could be the night that they do it. The Giants are shaking up the batting order tonight in the hopes of getting some clutch hits. Let's look at their lineup. Leading off in center field, it's Willie Mays. Batting second in right field, Jesus Alou. Batting third in left field, Willie McCovey. Batting fourth at first base, Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth at third base, Jim Ray Hart. Batting sixth and doing the catching, Tom Haller. Batting seventh and doing the second base chores, it's Hal Lanier. And batting eighth and doing the shortstop work, it's Jose Pagan. Marichal bats ninth and will take the mound for the Giants. For the Phillies, the lineup you've seen before. It's Tony Taylor at second base, Johnny Callison in right field, batting second. Richie Allen batting third and playing third base. Wes Covington batting fourth and playing left field. Tony Gonzalez batting fifth and playing center field. Clay Dalrymple batting sixth and doing the catching. John Hernstein batting seventh and playing first base. Bobby Wine batting eighth and playing short. And Jim Bunning batting ninth and doing the work on the mound. And we are ready to go. Here's Willie Mays leading off the ball game for San Francisco. And Willie Mays loops a base hit to center field. There will be no no-hitter tonight for Bunning. He is aboard with a single. And as you know, Willie Mays can run just a little bit. And so we'll see if they want to put a play on with him early. Jesus Alou stands in at 284 versus right-handers. Strikes him out. Bunning's first K on the night, the first out in the first inning. And now McCovey a young Willie McCovey. The next season, of course, Cepeda would be traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, and McCovey would take over at first. The pitch from Bunning is hitting the air to right, but not too deep. Callison's got room, and there's two down. And now Orlando Cepeda steps in. Orlando's at 310 for the season against righties. Hit on the ground to second. This is Tony Taylor, who will flip to Lowenstein, and that retires the Giants in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It's no score in Philly. Juan Marichal takes the mound for the first time. Tony Taylor stands in 234 against righties. Ground ball short. That's Pagan. He throws to Cepeda, and there's one man gone in the Philly first. Johnny Callison comes to the plate. 270 versus righties on the season. And Marichal gives him a hanger, and Callison hits it deep to center. This is going to drive Mays back, but he will get there to make the catch. And that's two gone. And now, Richie Allen, National League MVP in 1964, and a 287 hitter against righties. This is hit to left, but not too deep for Willie McCovey to get his glove on, and Stretch hauls it in for the third out. We are scoreless after one in Philly. Coming to the plate for San Francisco, it's Hart, Haller, and Lanier for the boys from the Bay Area who badly need a win. Actually, both teams badly need a win. As we come into play tonight, Hart, 273 against righties. Grounded to short. That's Bobby Wine. He's going to throw to Hernstein, and that will be one out. Tom Haller. Tom hits a grounder to short. That's Bobby Wine. He throws to first, and that's two down. And now Hal Lanier, 258, part of a really ugly Keystone combination setup for the Giants in 64. Just one of Al Dark's problems. A good team, could have been a great team with some different managing and without the internal strife that Alvin Dark apparently couldn't work his way through with the ball club. This is hit on the ground to Tony Taylor. And Tony makes the play to first base for the out. So it's a 1-2-3 for Bunning in the second. We've played 1.5, and there's no score at Shibe Park. Marichal comes back out to face Covington, Gonzalez, and Dalrymple for Philadelphia. It was a 3-up, 3-down first for the ace of the San Francisco staff. And this one is lined by Covington into the corner. Jesus Alou's going to have to go get it. But by the time he does, Wes Covington's going to be at second base with a double, and there's nobody out in the second. Tony Gonzalez steps in, 310 against righties for him. Hit to right. Alou on the run. Drops the ball and then kicks it. This will be ruled a single plus an error on Alou. That'll get Gonzalez to second. That'll get Covington all the way home from second base, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. Dalrymple comes to the plate. Gonzalez on second base with nobody out. Marichal to the belt. The pitch to Clay. Hit on the ground is short. Pagan checks the runner and throws to first. Cepeda registers the out, and there's one gone. Hernstein steps in. 235 against righties. Ground ball second. This is Lanier. He will throw to Cepeda. That will advance Gonzalez to third with 2 outs. They've got a choice now of pitching to Wine, the 8th place hitter, who was a 196 batter against righties on the season in 1964, or walking him and going after Jim Bunning, who was not accomplished with the stick. So they're going to go after Wine. Marichal to the belt, checks Gonzalez. The pitch home to Wine. Is ball 4. He walked Wine, maybe partly, kind of intentionally. And there's now Phillies at the corners with Bunning coming to the plate. First and third, 2 gone. Jim can help himself with some way of getting on. Marichal to the belt, checks Gonzalez at third, checks Wine at first. The pitch home to Bunning. Lifted in the air to left. This is McCovey. He will get there and make the play for the 3rd out, but thanks to a pair of hits and an error by Jesus Alou, the Phillies get on the board. It's 1-0 Philadelphia as we go to the 3rd. For the Giants, it's Pagan, Marichal, and Mays in the top of the 3rd. Jose, 208 on the 64 season against right-handed pitching. Grounded to short, Bobby Wine to Hernstein, and that is 1 gone. Marichal wanders to the plate. And here comes Juan in the right-handed batter's box. Pitch from Bunning. Hey, struck him out. That's 2 gone, and that's 8 in a row for Jim. With 2 outs in the 3rd, we're back to the top of the order. It's Willie Mays who owns the only Giants hit of the game. Pitch to Willie, and he walked him. Didn't get much to hit. Jesus Alou struck out in the 1st inning, and with 2 outs and a man on first, he gets another chance. 284 against righties. This is grounded to second. Tony Taylor's going to go the short way to Bobby Wine, and that will retire the Giants in the 3rd. We've played 2.5 in Philadelphia. It's 1-0 Phillies. And we're at the top of the order. Taylor, Callison, and Allen for Philadelphia. Tony's 0 for 1 on the day. And this one has popped up. Jim Ray Hart is waving his hands, and he will take it for out number 1. And that'll bring up Johnny Callison, 0 for 1 on the day. Callison hits it to right. This is another chance for Alou. Jesus on the run, on the run, on the run, on the run. He makes the catch this time for out number 2, and it'll be Richie Allen, who is also 0 for 1 on the day, to face Marichal for the 2nd time with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch to him. Hit in the air to right. This is Alou one more time, and that will retire the Phillies in the 3rd. So Marichal has righted the ship after a shaky 2nd inning. We go to the 4th. It's 1-0 Phillies. Facing Bunning this inning will be McCovey, Cepeda, and Hart. And they've just had a lack of clutch hitting so far this season, and so they got to turn it around if they're going to turn it around. McCovey leads off. He's 0 for 1. And he draws a walk. So with nobody out, McCovey wanders down to first base, and Cepeda comes up. Orlando 310 on the season, but 0 for 1 today. This is hitting the air to center, and Tony Gonzalez is moving in a few steps to make the play, and that's 1 down. Bring up Jim Ray Hart, double play target, 0 for 1 today. Bunting to the belt, the pitch home. Grounded to Taylor at second. He flips to Wine for 1, to Hernstein for 2, and that will retire the Giants in the 4th. After a fashion, a 1-2-3 inning for Jim Bunting. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Covington, Gonzalez, and Dalrymple. A trio of left-handed batters facing, I don't know, maybe the best pitcher in baseball in 64, Juan Marichal, although Bunting certainly could lay claim to that as well. Covington 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored. A line drive base hit to left field. West takes Marichal the other way, and he is aboard with a single. Now Gonzalez with nobody out. Tony 1 for 1 on the day. This is grounded to Lanier. And Hal goes to Pagan for 1. The relay to Cepeda, not in time. Gonzalez beats the wrap at first. It's a fielder's choice for Tony. And with 1 out, it's Clay Dalrymple, who's 0 for 1 on the day as well. Pitch to Clay. Grounded to second one more time. Lanier, Pagan, Cepeda, a soul-crushing, rally-killing double play for the Giants' defense, and that gets Marichal out of the inning. We go to the 5th. It's 1-0 Phillies with Haller, Lanier, and Pagan. Not exactly murderer's row coming to the plate. Haller 0 for 1. 260 against righties. And this one is driven to right center field. It's going to split Gonzalez and Callison and roll to the wall. Haller's going to get himself a double. He had 14 of them on the season. And with nobody out, Haller is in scoring position. Lanier comes to the plate. I don't know what they're going to want him to do here. 258 with a 265 on base average. It's a little gruesome at the bottom of the Giants' order, but there's really no combination that's been very effective. Bunting, Lanier squares to bunt. He gets it down. Hernstein will flip to Taylor, and that will advance Haller to third. So with 1 out and a man on third, here comes Pagan. Marichal on deck. Phillies infield. Phillies infield is going to play in. Pagan at the plate. Bunting, the wind, and the pitch. Hey, strikes out Pagan. 2 gone, and Marichal's the danger. Lanier's odds, Lanier's odds of getting on were not good. So they decided to make a productive out of it, but now they're relying on, after Pagan strikes out, they're relying on Marichal to get a hit to drive in the run. Not likely. Bunting to the belt, the pitch. Popped him up. Hernstein will take it, and that will retire the Gents in the 5th. We are halfway through this one. Phillies 1, Giants nothing in Philadelphia. Hernstein. Wine and Bunning in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch to John. Hit in the air to center, Willie Mays. Over into right center a few steps, and we'll make the catch. 1 gone. Bobby Wine walked in the 2nd. Hey, struck him out. That's 2 gone. And now Bunning comes to the plate. Jim is 0 for 1 with the fly out to left. This one is in the air to center, but Mays will come in several steps for it and make the grab. It's a 1-2-3-5 for Marichal, but the Giants have to figure out a way to get on the board. It's 1-0 Phillies. And the top of the order coming up for San Francisco, it'll be Mays, Jesus Alou, and then McCovey for the boys by the bay. Willie, 1 for 1 with a walk. Popped him up. Bunning got him. Taylor calling and taking on the infield. 1 gone. Jesus Alou, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And he walked him. And walking Jesus Alou is not an easy task. He only walked 11 times in part-time duty in 64. And it brings up McCovey as the lead or the go-ahead run in the ball game. Willie, 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch from Bunning. Hey, struck him out. That's 2 gone. And now Cepeda with Alou still at first base. Orlando, 0 for 2. Pitch from Bunning. This is a base hit, and this will send Alou to third. A single up the middle for Cepeda. Alou gets to third. The throw comes into second, holding Cepeda at first. And Hart comes to the plate with 2 outs and the runners at the corners. Jim is 0 for 2. The pitch from Bunning. Grounded to first. Grabbed by Hernstein. Takes it himself, and that will retire the Giants in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 1-0 Phillies. Top of the order coming against Marichal. Taylor, Callison, and Allen. Pitch to Tony. Struck him out. Number 2 for Marichal on the day. Callison is 0 for 2 and coming up. Gonna do a re-roll. And this is a base hit to right for Callison. So with 1 out, Callison's aboard with a single. Allen is 0 for 2 on the day. Every pitch from Marichal is huge because the Giants just aren't scoring. Allen stands in. Yay, struck him out. Number 3 for Marichal. And now Covington, who's 2 for 2 with a run scored and a double. And okay. And we got a balk. A balk on Marichal. It will move Callison to second. Covington is still up. The pitch to him is hit in the air to left. It's going to be McCovey on a line and makes the play. That will retire the Phillies, the balk doesn't hurt. We go to the 7th. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. The Giants have Haller, Lanier, and Pagan coming up against Bunning. Tom 1 for 2 with a double. The only extra base hit off Bunning today. It's a hanger, and he drills it to right and deep. Callison toward the foul pole, and it's gone for Tom Haller. We've got a tie game at 1 here in the 7th. Haller, the only guy that's hitting Bunning today, has come through with a homer to tie the game at 1. Hal Lanier is 0 for 1 with a bunt, also on his ledger today. This is grounded to third, taken by Allen. Throw to Hernstein, and that is 1 gone in the 7th. Jose Pagan. Grounded to third, that's Allen. One more time to Hernstein, and that's 2 gone. And now Marichal gets to bat. And this is hitting the air to right. Callison's going to come in, and on the run, he will make the catch. But it's time to stretch him out. The Giants have tied the game on a solo homer by Tom Haller, and we are going to the bottom of the 7th, knotted at 1. Marichal back out. He'll get Gonzalez, Dalrymple, and Hernstein here in the 7th. Tony is 1 for 2. Day struck him out. 3 of Marichal's last 4 outs are strikeouts, and 4 of the last 6 are strikeouts. And so he has 4 on the day. Clay Dalrymple is 0 for 2. He strikes him out, 2 gone, and now Marichal's got it going. Hernstein, 0 for 2. And a base hit. Goes to left field, and he's aboard. That'll bring up Bobby Wine. They'd love to get Bunning turned over here if Wine can get on base. Bobby's 0 for 1 with a walk and a whiff. The pitch from Marichal. Grounded to second. That's Lanier. He'll go the short way to Pagan and retire the Phillies in the 7th. We go to the 8th, and we've decided nothing. It's 1-1 in Philadelphia. Kind of what we thought we'd get. Top of the order for the Giants, Mays, Jesus Alou, and McCovey due up. Willie's 1 for 2 with a walk in his first leadoff man appearance of the season. This is hit in the air to center. Tony Gonzalez backs up a few steps but has room, and that's 1 gone in the 8th. Jesus Alou, 0 for 2 with a walk and a whiff. Grounded to second. Tony Taylor's going to throw to Hernstein, and that's 2 gone. And now Willie McCovey, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a whiff. Bunning the Wine. The pitch to Willie. He lines it to left center. This is going to get in the gap. Covington will not get there. It goes to the wall. McCovey gets himself a double, and the Giants have the lead run in scoring position for Cepeda with 2 outs. Are they going to pitch to him or walk him and go after Hart? They're going to walk him and go after Hart. So Cepeda gets 4 bad ones and takes first base. So there's men at first and second for Jim Ray Hart. In the top of the 8th, Jim is 0 for 3 with a double play grounder. Bunning to the belt, the pitch home. Grounded to second. Tony Taylor goes the short way to Bobby Wine, and that will retire the Giants in the 8th. Hart does not come through. Bunning escapes the jam. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Bunning, Taylor, and Callison for the Phillies. This has that extra inning feel to it. Bunning is leading off. He will bat for himself. Pitch to Jim. Hey, struck him out. Marichal's got it going. The strikeout pitch is back. 6 Ks on the evening for Juan. But they've all come in the last three and a third innings. Taylor, 0 for 3. Marichal the wind, and the pitch home is hitting the air to right, but not deep. Jesus Alou will take it, and that's 2 gone. And now Callison, who's 1 for 3. Richie Allen is on deck. And we got a rare play. And let's see where this goes. Callison rips it. It's at first. Cepeda it goes in and out of his glove for a 1-base error, and Callison will reach first. Allen comes to the plate, and he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pitch to Richie. Grounded to short. This is Pagan. He goes the short way to Lanier, and that retires the Phillies in the 8th. We go to the 9th. We are knotted at 1. Bunning coming back out. Haller, Lanier, and Pagan. Haller, the big man in the game with 2 hits, both extra base hits, and the owner of the solo homer that tied the game in the 7th. Bunning's got to get him. 2 for 3 for Tom. The pitch. Grounded to second. Tony Taylor flips to Hernstein, and that's 1 gone. He got him. Lanier stands in, or are they going to call him back? They're going to call him back. Duke Snyder is going to pinch hit. I'm not sure who he is. Just some guy, I guess, on the bench. Duke was at the end of the line here. 207 against right-handers on the season. But he's still Duke Snyder, and he can still put a jolt into one. Bunning's got to be careful. There's 1 man out and nobody on for Snyder. Hey, struck him out. That's 2 gone in the 9th. Pagan. They're going to let him bat, I guess. Oh, man. It's like sending lambs to slaughter. No, they can't do it. They got to win this game. So that's going to be it for Pagan. Matty Alou will bat for Pagan in the 9th with 2 outs and nobody on. Marichal is in the on-deck circle. Matty, 273 on the season against righties. And it's a hanger, and Matty drills it to right for a base hit. Well, now they got a decision to make. Two outs. Runner on first. Marichal due. They're letting him bat. And it's probably a mistake, but as badly as they need runs, the bullpen isn't exactly lighting the world on fire either, so they're going to see what he can do. Here comes Marichal 0 for 3 with a strikeout on the day. Alou takes his lead off first base. And the pitch. Grounded to short. Bobby Wine goes the short way to Taylor, and that retires the Giants in the ninth. Well, we're going to have some defensive switches here. Snyder and Alou are not going to be playing the infield, even though they hit better than the backup infielders. It'll be Davenport taking over at shortstop. And he played a fair amount of shortstop. Chuck Hiller, also near the end of the line, will take over at second base. And he played a fair amount of second base because Alvin Dark was looking for any reason at all to get his mind off of the internal squabbling and the racial divisions in the 1964 San Francisco Giants. So to amuse himself, he switched around the middle infielders. And then, in the definition of irony, the Giants fired him at the end of the season and hired that man who's been known to soothe over all sorts of internal strife, Herman Franks. But Herman led him to 95 wins in 65, so I don't know, you tell me. Wes Covington, Tony Gonzalez, and Clay Dalrymple against Marichal in the ninth. Covington is 2 for 3. He scored the only run for the Phillies. Hit in the air to center. This one's going to be taken by Willie Mays, and the Say Hey Kid retires Covington for 1 gone in the ninth. Giants are hoping for extra innings. We're tied at 1. Gonzalez is 1 for 3. Pitch to Tony. Hey, struck him out for the second time in the game. Number 7 for Marichal. Dalrymple with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a double play grounder. Clay would love to atone. 2 outs. Pitch for Marichal. Hit on the ground to second. This is Chuck Hiller. He throws to Cepeda, and we're going to have an extra inning ball game today. We're going to 10. Top of the order for the Gents. Willie Mays, Jesus Alou, and Willie McCovey against Bunning, who's back out there. Mays is 1 for 3 with a walk. Pitch to Willie. Hit in the air to left. Covington can make this play. And that's 1 gone in the 10th. Jesus Alou, 0 for 3. To left, Covington in a few steps. 2 gone. And now McCovey, 1 for 3. A double in the 8th, but did not score. The pitch, hit in the air to Covington in left. He's going to tie a record held by many. And that will retire the Giants in the 10th. Bunning does his job. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Marichal gets the bottom 3 of the Phillies order: Hernstein, Wine, and Bunning. John, 1 for 3 on the game. Marichal, the wind, the pitch. Hey, struck him out, number 8. 1 gone in the 10th. Bobby Wine isn't going to bat, mostly because Gene Mauch can't stand to watch it anymore. It's going to be Johnny Briggs. Briggs, the left-handed pinch hitter for the Phillies in 64. Wine finishes his day 0 for 2 with a walk and a whiff. Briggs, 242 against righties on the season, but with a 338 on base average. The pitch from Marichal is driven to right. A base hit. Briggs is aboard. Briggs is aboard with a single. Bunning is called back. Mauch is going for it. In the bottom of the 10th, there's one man out. Briggs is at first. And it's going to be Cookie Rojas. Pinch hitting for Jim Bunning. Excuse me. All right. Haller's arm. Is not good. All right, Briggs works on his lead. Rojas stands in. 322 against righties for Cookie on the season. Marichal to the belt, the pitch home. Cookie swings and hits it to short. That's Pagan. No, that's not Pagan. That's Davenport. And it's through for a base hit that will advance Briggs to second. Infield hit. Davenport knocks it down but can't make a play. Everybody is safe, and with one out and two men on, it's Taylor coming to the plate. Briggs is fast at second base. Marichal in trouble, but they're sticking with him. Alvin Dark just watching in the dugout. He's actually eating a hot dog. He's got a hot dog in one hand and he's vaping in the other hand. So Alvin's not dealing well with the stress. There's a little bit of mustard on the front of his uniform as well. So that's the Alvin Dark picture for you in the bottom of the 10th. We have one man out. Johnny Briggs at second, Cookie Rojas at first, and Tony Taylor at the plate. Tony's 0 for 4. Pitch from Marichal. And we've got a rare play. All right, so Taylor swings. And it's hit at Hiller. Hiller dives and knocks it down, keeps it on the infield. Briggs advances to third, but no farther. Rojas is safe sliding at second. Taylor aboard at first. The bases are loaded for Callison with Richie Allen on deck. Giants infield moves in. Outfield moves in to Little League depth. Marichal in trouble. Alvin Dark vaping in the dugout. Callison is 1 for 4. The bases are full of Phillies. Briggs at third, Rojas at second, Taylor at first, but the only run that matters is Briggs. If he scores, it's over. It's a one. We have one out in the bottom of the 10th. Callison at the plate, the pitch from Marichal. Grounded to Davenport. Davenport goes home to Haller for one and to first for two and a double play for the Giants. Marichal gets out of it in the bottom of the 10th with a 6-2-3 twin killing. Yikes. We've played 10 and decided nothing. It's 1-1. We have a new shortstop for Philadelphia. We're also going to get a new pitcher. The shortstop will be Ruben Amaro. He will bat 8th. The pitcher will be Jack Baldwin. The closer for the Phillies in 64. Excuse me. And yeah, so that takes care of, excuse me, that takes care of Philly. Okay, so here comes Baldwin. He will face Cepeda, Hart, and Haller in the top of the 11th. Wow, the Phillies had the game, and they let it get away, at least so far. Cepeda hit in the air to right. Callison with room. One gone. Hart, 0 for 4. Excuse me. Grounded to short. That's Amaro. Two gone. And Haller. Giants just are not hitting. Haller is the only one. 2 for 4, a double and a homer on the day. There's 2 outs and nobody on. Baldwin, the wind, the pitch. Hit in the air to left. Covington toward the line, but will get there, and that retires the Giants in the 11th. Baldwin, a 1-2-3 inning. Marichal coming back out because why not? Richie Allen, Wes Covington, Tony Gonzalez in the 11th. Allen 0 for 4 on the day. Marichal's pitch is driven to left center. It's going to get down between McCovey and Mays. It'll be a leadoff double for Allen, and he's got good speed at second base. Covington, Gonzalez on deck, and then Dalrymple. Covington's got 2 hits on the day. They're going to walk him and get after Gonzalez. So there's 2 on now with nobody out. Gonzalez stands in against Marichal. 1 for 4 for Tony. It's a base hit to right. Here comes Allen around third. The throw coming home from Jesus Alou. Allen slides. The tag is not in time. The Phillies walk it off in the bottom of the 11th, 2-1. That drops the Giants to 0-5 to start an 18-game mini-season. And Bunning and Marichal locked up in the classic that I was hoping we would get. Let's give you the totals for the victorious Phillies in 11 innings. 2 runs, 10 hits, and they committed no errors. For the vanquished 1964 Giants, 1 run on 6 hits, and they committed 2 errors. Winning pitcher is Baldwin. Got to be careful how you say that, friends. Losing pitcher, Marichal. He is 0-2. And there is no save. It's a walk-off winner for Tony Gonzalez, driving home Richie Allen from second base with a single with none out in the bottom of the 11th. Great game between two great pitchers. Thank you so much for joining me. Please click like and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all Payoff Pitch Dream Season action. Tomorrow, you will get the sports page, edition number 5, which will go through the standings and the highlights of all of the Game 5s in the league and bring you up to date on all sorts of good stuff. So look for that tomorrow on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great evening. My name's Kurt Berglund. So long, everybody.